over the last week, the political divide's become a lot clearer, and it's not really about which side of the argument, left or right, are you on, but it's more shaping up as a debate about who's best placed and best in tune with getting the best things for New Zealand. Let me give a few examples of what I'm talking about. We've had the debacle, allegedly, over AMI insurance. And there was an argument about whether we should be bailing them out, and the far right, like ACT, was saying companies should stand on their own 2 feet, and if they fall, well, so be it. The left was saying, oh, we shouldn't be bailing them out. The Greens were saying, for instance, what we need to have is a levy on tax to pay for the earthquake. The Labour Party was saying, well, yes, maybe, but not too much. I think the reality here is quite basic. There are 85,000 AMI policyholders in Christchurch. It's the biggest insurance coverer in that city. If it goes to the wall, for whatever reason, then the livelihoods and the lives of those 85,000 policyholders go to the wall as well. In just the same way as the Labour government faced a decision about what to do with Air New Zealand, whether to bail it out or let it crash and us have no airline, and then it decided it had no option but to bail it out. So too with this government, and I think the right decision was made. But what really worried me, listening to the debate around it, and some of the stuff that's been flying around subsequently, is that there are parties now retreating into their ideological shells. Labour's list selection at the weekend looks like a classic Labour Party. It's interesting, one poll I've seen says 3/4 of people believe it doesn't relate to Labour Party supporters. So it's going down its own ideological path. The Greens, trying to lift their profile, are speaking out more and more on economic issues and showing themselves to be more left-wing than even Labour. ACT, trying to reclaim some lost ground, is going right out to the far right with some really wacky, completely off-the-wall free market stuff. And the Maori Party, as the debacle over the plastic waka, or whatever you want to call it, shows, is really still more focused on delivering to iwi rather than looking at the bigger picture. So I guess the question that then starts to take shape in your mind is, given New Zealand's situation at the moment, a huge level of debt, a parlous economic position, the most massive natural disaster in our history to have to recover from, at the same time as we're all part of recovering from the biggest global downturn since the Great Depression, who do you trust to have the solutions and the answers to get us through? The ideologues of the right? Small government? Slash and burn? No. The ideologues of the left? Let's again sock the wealthy, go down the path of attacking privilege and vested interest, knowing, of course, as you do so, you kill the goose that lays the golden eggs in terms of creating the profit and the proceeds from which other people benefit in the future. Neither. The centre ground holds the key, and what the national government needs to continue being a reasonably pragmatic government after November is the support of centre ground politicians and centre ground parties like United Future, where what matters most is the solution, not the ideological statement or point being proved. What works in the particular circumstances, what's best for New Zealanders, what's going to be effective and ensure that vital services remain, that New Zealanders' quality of life is promoted and protected, and that people are able basically to get on. They're the things that matter. And I think that the events of the last few weeks, with the debates, as I say, over AMI, over the response to the earthquake generally, and even some of Labour's peculiar stuff about South Canterbury finance, show that if we start to get into what's the pure solution type situations, then the real point of the impact on people's lives will be lost. So I think, in a way, these last couple of weeks have really helped to crystallise political difference in New Zealand and make it clear that pragmatism, common sense and good, sound government are the virtues that are going to take this country through, and they're the things United Future possesses in abundance.